Topic, we're going to talk about a $4,000 incentive or tax credit hack on used Model 3s. It seems like there is a way if you do not, the vehicle does not qualify because there's one quick restriction on that Tesla $4,000 hack or $4,000 tax credit that you have to do. We'll talk about it. There might be a way to get around it. And on top of that, we'll talk about, is it even worth it to buy a Model 3 or Model 3 new one or a Model 3 used one, because the deals and incentives might be really close. So sometimes buying a new one with all the different incentives might actually make a lot of sense. We'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so I posted this post the other day. The reason why is because shout out to Paul Foss. He posted this article on Clean Technica talking about how breaking the Tesla Model 3 now qualifies for the used Tesla $4,000 used tax credit. So the couple of things that you have to be aware about: you have to be under a certain income limit, which is $75,000 for a single, and the price of the vehicle has to be under $25,000. And the third thing, which is kind of a weird restriction but kind of makes sense, you have to buy the vehicle from a dealership. So private party sales do not count. So before we get into the actual hack, I posted this poll out there the other day. Which one would you actually pick? A used Model 3 with a $4,000 incentive or a brand new Model 3 with a $7,500 incentive? Because the question is, there actually is used Model 3s that are under $25,000, but they're usually 2018s, 2017s, or maybe even 2019s. And they've got high mileage on it, 80, 90, maybe even 100,000 miles on it. And so they are available from dealerships. Of course, you can negotiate with dealerships, just like you can negotiate with private party sellers. But it seems like an overwhelming 75% of people actually said they would buy a new Model 3 because it comes with that $7,500 tax credit. But look at this, 4% actually said still debating, and 3% actually said neither. So here's a hack, because we all know we're going to get a better deal from buying used from private party and be negotiating with people because they have a little bit more flexibility. Dealerships usually have a buy-in price, and they have to sell it for a certain amount, and whether they bought that vehicle from auctions or things like that, they usually have a break even or how much they don't want to lose on a vehicle. But shout out to Paul Foss. He actually highlighted this in his article. This is a company called Key Savvy, where you can actually use this company as a in-between to buy the vehicle, or as maybe even act as a dealership. I've never been through the process directly, but it seems like this might be a cool workaround, or even a cool hack to be able to buy this vehicle or have the seller work with you and Key Savvy to work as an in-between, or maybe even an escrow to be able to buy the vehicle from Key Savvy, or the seller sells the vehicle to Key Savvy and then you buy the vehicle from Key Savvy, which would be quote unquote hopefully a dealership, and then you would be able to get that $4,000 used EV incentive. So this may be a good workaround. Definitely check out Key Savvy, or if you've worked with Key Savvy in the past, let me know what your thoughts and your experience. On top of that, the biggest thing though between buying a new and buying a used one is when you're buying a used one, especially a 2018 with 100,000 miles, I've always promoted a new one, especially if you're going to be paying what, $3, $4, $5, $6,000 difference between a used one and a new one because of warranty. A new one's going to have 4 years of warranty and 50,000 miles. But shout out to this company that Paul also put me on as well. It's called Accelerate, which actually has electric vehicle warranties that you can buy from this company as well. So another one of these companies where I haven't really had experience directly, but it seems like pretty comprehensive in all the different things that they actually cover. So these are like the two toolboxes or things that you can do to get a best deal on a used Tesla if you have to go down that route. Because if I were to look at what cars.com and then look at all the used EVs out there, maybe even all the used Model 3s and sort by lowest, we've got some interesting deals out there, right? 22, 23, $24,000. And the biggest thing with me is I would attack used private party sellers first, and then just try and negotiate as much as possible down to $20,000, $18,000, maybe even less, and then use Key Savvy to try and get that $4,000 used EV incentive on top of that. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by our Patreon link. Down in the description, the Patreon link, support the channel. If you're looking for someone to ask some questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla, that's where you can do that. My Patreon link down below in the description. You can sign up, send me chat messages, ask me any questions, or even schedule a phone call with me where we can go over your exact situation, customized buying plan to get you the best deal on a Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely check out Patreon link down below in the description. Oh, Tesla Australia seems to be going gift